You may think I'm lying, but unfortunately I'm telling the truth as I saw it then anyway. This thing was a fleeting companion, but a companion nonetheless. Do you hear? It's the earthly moans of time. Listless motes of cavern dust, the crumbled ruin beneath our feet. All the ordained path of the blessed. You have found their way, their home, their solace. You're near them. No, I was wrong.
That's the glass of ambient, then. Nicely done. And it says the missives are... very interesting. I'm saving that for another time. Now there's one piece of this puzzle missing. We need to find out who the Hierophant is. And to do that, we part ways, for now. Your path lies in Sun Camp, to the south. Lay low, take some jobs, and we'll end this soon enough. It's not like here, Dov. The heat's enough to kill the smile on a traveler, and there's not a lot of shade. Act inconspicuous. The Hierophant's still watching, and will learn that you survived, but not that you suspect anything. While you're there, speak with camp's leader, Arjine, and get some work. Hopefully, it will distract the Hierophant. I'll find you soon enough. She's quite a harsh one, but mostly harmless. I blame it on the sand what's out there in Datir.
So, we have a new arrival in Sun Camp. I have heard tell of a traveler, a true thief with skills in metal. I assume that is you. Your arrival is a blessing of the Hierophants. I hope it will distract my camp from these idiotic rumors of Grim Onwig and his crusade. I am Ajin, the leader of the Sun Camp. Under my leadership, I have created one of the largest and most profitable camps in the Travelers. The title Queen of Staves is reserved for the oldest and wisest of the camp leaders. The Hierophant awarded it to me for my service. Yes, he wishes to change countless years of tradition because of a misplaced personal grudge, apparently. That can't end well. Sun Camp is under my authority by the blessed ordination of the Hierophant. We mainly subsist on trade from the city of Edessa. You would do well to not question those higher than yourself, child. And the Hierophant is not one to be questioned by anyone. From the Hierophant we are given prophecies, portents. The travelers are blind, but the Hierophant sees clearly and leads them to prosperity. We are not the rabble that many take us for, nor the beggars we are soon to be. I hold such judgments in contempt. We have our own life in this desert. The travelers of my camp are profitable, orderly, and obedient, all without walls and gates. Go to Whitestone and see for yourself. Are those people any happier? Pfft, they're miserable. Very well. There are enough travelers in this camp speaking of this Grim Onwig. We must show that the work still waits. You are versed in our order, and we esteem the blessed Hierophant highly here. Go to the shrine in camp and pray if you wish for work. Be gone. So the Shade has come to Sun Camp. I have seen what happened to Phasmer, such a tragedy. Lucky that you escaped it. I am reminded of a desert parable. An eagle, proud and fierce, was told that none could fly higher than the sun, and that the sun saw all. The eagle took flight with its great wings to block out the sun's light. It could not blot all the light, but it always cast its prey in shadow. You mean who is the eagle, who is the sun, and who is the prey? The lessons of parables lay in the mind of the listener. But you have come. I will have need of such obedience, from what is being said of Grim Onwig and his pathetic plans. The travelers will learn who provides for them and who should occupy their thoughts, and your work will be the conduit for this message. Very well. Your assignment is to steal the Master's pick. It is said to open any lock. I have seen the pick in a small jewelry box on the personage of Aloran Kriet. Find her in the Edessa laboratories. It is an artifact of great power, sought after by all thieves and rogues, for it is said that no lock may withstand its magics. There is some form of confusion around this item. It was on Amalur, but it is unclear if something has occurred. Strike quickly. There is some manner of uncertainty at work here.
Excuse me? Damn bloody fool thing, Lauren. Oh, did not see you there, stranger. It is by far the most important location in the Feylands. It houses the summation of Gnomish knowledge, culture, and progress. I've given my life to interpreting the results from our experiments and learning how it can be used by the Basilica Nostra. It's my duty, my role. We conduct experiments within and without the city, as well as aggregate the information collected therein. What? What the devil are you talking about? I don't have any sort of, did you say, master's pick? Just about the only possession I had that was wholly my own. Isn't even mine any... Oh, now why am I telling you this? Leave me. Friendly? Yes. It has been too long since I've had a friendly, decent person to converse with. Well, I never had this master's pick, but I did have a strangely unopenable jewelry box until the Praetorians confiscated it. Now it's rotting in the armory, and all because they think I'm in league with someone they don't support anymore. Such a bother. Ah, very well. You return, box and all. Boxes are for opening, young thief. But still, this task can be held completed. Except it is not. There is no way into this box nor its contents. How can this pick be of any use to us? This note mentions Guy Unstebic. He's with Motus Mining.
Break into his laboratory, find this Aravis engine, and use it to free the key then. Be gone. Something curious at work here. The Hierophant predicted that you would steal the Master's pick, and you come back with this. I've hated Arcia for years. Always speaking truth, always. But this job, this failure, is a fallacy. How could the Hierophant be wrong? Never mind that. There is a more pressing matter at hand. The Hierophant has another task for you. You must pray at the Hierophant shrine in camp. It is the only means of conversing to our guide. Farewell.
Been some time since our Jean's been in camp. Hope everything's all right. My forge is always...
And lastly, you arrive. There is something hesitant in your step, I see. But it is not your step that concerns me. I have learned that an enemy of the Travelers is soon to meet his end. Mon Cointaker has been sentenced to execution. His is a sordid life, and his will be a fitting death. He was a cutthroat, a brigand, a highwayman, and former traveler. He left my flock when we would not serve his gruesome tastes, and with his bloody ways he amassed a great fortune coveted by many. Nor should you. He is a crude and loathsome killer who cost Suncamp dearly, but the fortune he amassed will be proper recompense for his slights against us. Go to Convict's Cavern and find his cell. He will give you a key to his hoard, which you will recover. This I have foreseen.
Well, looks like one of Arjean's blew in here. Wonder what the guards would do if I called them over. But Mon won't do that, though it sounds a bit of fun. You are a traveler, aren't you? Suppose Sun Camp came to gloat. Rats in the desert fighting over my table scraps. Only now they have a shot at the whole feast. More likable than you spineless travelers, at any rate. Oh, come now, I can't be all that bad, can I? Maybe I did slit some throats. They'll still remember me as the richest son of a bitch in Apotyr, who laughed in the Hierophant's face. I can't believe I ever walked with you cowards. Can take a man's livelihood, but not his life, eh? Well, they've welded my door shut until I reach the gallows, so it's yours. But this is only part of the key you'll need. See? I'm a fair man. I gave the other pieces to the Zungars and the Dark Varis. They're looking for my treasure right now, and I don't think they'll share. This is what you scabs get for picking at Mon's bones. Claim my gold if you dare. Arjean can hold my debt fulfilled if you survive. Ah, my old stomping grounds. Would that I could see it now, filled with eager Zungars and Dark Varis, spilling their blood for my gold.
Well, well. Looks like Mon managed to pull a fast one on pretty much everyone. You know, I remember a time when the Hierophant couldn't be faulted, couldn't be fallible. Guess that's just sand in the desert breeze, Dove. I've found the missives of Sable and how to get them. I need you to steal them for me. The Hierophant's power is clearly waning, and all the travelers will suffer for it eventually. I chose this path because of vengeance. I was wrong. It's the future of the travelers what's at stake. We're close, Dove. We'll be ridding the travelers of that problem soon enough, right after you get the missives of Sable. It's the giant ornately carved stone bloody feather in the gnome's enormous cap, that's what it is. The gnomes built a warren into that crater, and a secret one at that. The safest fort in the Phalanx, and we're robbing it. Amongst travelers was the best place to be before this Hierophant led us astray. We'll be recapturing that freedom, Dove, with that book you'll be stealing. With a proper bit of skill, you're going where no thief of these lands has stepped foot, in the vaults beneath the Odessa Livrarium. Seems to be where the gnomes hide what they don't want found, missives included. I've arranged for Phasma to meet you there and show you the way in. He knows as much as I've told him. I'd have shown you the place myself, but after own stand, I might be recognized. Phasma's got a good head on his shoulders. He'll help you just fine. These are gnomes we're dealing with, Dove. Forget gold, wine, and power. They prize knowledge above all else. I suspect something to be in those missives that means a great deal to them. But who cares? They've got the book, and we want it. Now go. When you've got it, I'll be waiting for you with some friends in the hospitalis quarters. I ain't exactly what you call literate, Dove, but all our fortunes lie with that tome. Yours, mine, and the Hierophant's. Get on with you.
My calculations take this gold. It's nothing compared to the reward that's coming. A rebirth of a region. Motis mining interests will learn not to disregard Ruin Amos. Hello. This is a glorious day. Hey, isn't it? Come again. Right here. Keep the peace.
Glad you decided to show. Can't say I wasn't antsy with all these squirrel-headed gnomes staring me down crosswise. But let's be quick-like about this. Before you go into the vault, I've got to run you down on what's needed. Egg-eating, swill-sucking, take-it-in-the-eye for a side, twig-wrenching traitor. Stew-brained wretch. Send me to die, will he? He'll get his. I swear it. They say this place is the bright center of knowledge, but there's a coldness beneath these floors, like something hidden. Been a bit since we crossed paths, hasn't it? Well, after I got free of that curse, I joined up with Grimm's crew. Ain't been some lily-liver after what happened at Rithen. I'm stronger now, faster. Better thief than I ever could have been under the Hierophant. Lot of followers with their heads in the clouds. They're not seeing things because they're too busy kissing the Hierophant's dung-covered boots. I'll show them. Grimm learned that the gnomes enchanted the missives with a spell that lets them know its location at all times. Trilgarin came up with a solution. The Shroud of Omission. Cover the book in this shroud and the gnomes will forget it exists. Now, are you ready? This is a one-way trip. Once you're in, you'll have to find your own way out. Some old book. Don't look at me for what's in it. The value that those cursed scullions place in the missives is what concerns Grimm and I. I don't know if Trilgarin made the bloody thing or stole it, but she said it's one of a kind. Place an object under the shroud and all the world forgets it existed. Seems useless, eh? But in the right moment, it's a damned waggish bedlam. Through this floor grate here. You'll have to do what you can to keep your bearings. It's a maze down there. And be careful. There might be pint pots, but these gnomes will become vicious if they get wise to you. Right, you'd better go. Be quick about it. I'll distract them. Let's do this. Hold a moment. You're the one I've heard so much about. The one that's been answering the petition board. Not many would do for us what you did. Here, take this. It's what I would have given you had I known at the time. Thanks. The gnomes built this place for their achievements. Don't mistake that. If you're valuable to them, you're in. And if you're not, you're out of luck. The gnomes gave us the quarters and told us it was this or the wastes, so we had to make it work. I had to make it work. I knew a thing or two about keeping coins. Didn't take long for me to earn more than any of these poor sods could hope. Gnomes didn't like that. So long.
I?
The missives of Sable. I'd like to see what these pages hold. But that needs to wait. Keep that shroud on it. The time has come. While you did this, I finally learned who the Hierophant is. Argene of Sun Camp. We're taking her down, Dove. All of us. One last plan, one last job. The biggest we'll ever pull. I know now. I've had my suspicions, and the last one has been put in. I've told Argene that I know her secret, and now she's asked to meet me in the ruins beneath Sun Camp. While we're there, you're going to plant the missives on Argene, and the gnomes will have her in chains, like she would have done to me. Argene tried to hand me to the gnomes for stealing the missives of Sable, a book they value greatly. She tried to do the same to you and Phasma in Rithen. After that, we started putting my true plan in motion. I found the missives of Sable and found the Hierophant's identity. Now, we'll frame her for the crime she tried to have me killed for. The meeting with Argene's a front. While I keep her occupied, you, Krilgaren and Phasma will be able to move unrestricted. Where we're going is the Hierophant's lair. It's likely got some enchanted defenses. Krilgaren will be there to help with those. Meanwhile, Phasma will lead the gnomes to the ruins. You plant the missives on Argene, and the gnomes will take her away while the world watches. Phasma's got the tricky part. He's going to lead the gnomes to the ruins beneath Sun Camp. That way, once you plant the missives on Argene, the gnomes will move in and take her down. Krilgaren will be your support. The Fae have many powers and sensitivities. I figure she'd be best suited to helping you. I doubt Argene would invite me without having some form of security. Krilgaren will help you get past them, so you can plant the missives on her. Good. To keep the element of surprise, you'll be using a secret entrance to the ruins. It's one of the graves in Sun Camp. Once you're in, meet with Krilgaren. Now, we've got to move. Do your part, and hopefully we'll see the end of this job. It seems that the Hierophant made themselves a little hideaway beneath Sun Camp. It's a monument to her abuses, her power. We'll topple that place as well as her.
What are you looking at?
At last, I can speak with Grimm's fateless ally with my true voice, and your meaningless plan is exposed. These ruins are full of travelers faithful to the Hierophant, who will kill any and all who intrude. This ends now. My powers may fluctuate around you, but they are not robbed of me. I could see enough of Grimm, Phasma, and Krilgaren to learn this plan. I tried to end your life once. I underestimated you clearly. Now I want to form a peace between us. I could use your skill. Frame Grimm for stealing the missives of Sable. You are not but a tool to him since he first approached you in Star Camp anyways. I suppose you believed it to be mere coincidence that it was Grimm who first recruited you into the Travelers. Grimm is crude and cruel, but with a bestial cleverness. He learned you were fateless, no doubt, long before the two of you met. He planned this rebellion long before Own's stand. He only waited until the perfect weapon to fight me appeared. And that weapon is you. Yes, yours is a fate I cannot read. I told you as much when first you prayed to me in Star Camp. I thought you were an aberration, but I'm coming to believe that you are instead a harbinger of times to come. Nature might cast us as opposites, as foes, but I believe together we might lead the Travelers to a golden age. So you claim, but I can see the threads of fate do not guide you. Nothing is decided. Think on my offer and take this. It is a key to the wings of the Hierophant's court, my sanctum. It is where I will meet Grimm. Grimm will be in the East Wing, remember that. Grimm is in the East Wing. Do the right thing, or face my wrath. Farewell. At last. These ruins are full of travel. I'd frame Grim for stealing them. He planned this nature might cast us as... So think Grim be gone. I see.
You have come. I was concerned, for Arjin has not come to this ruin unprepared. There appears to be many guards loyal to the Hierophant roaming this hall. There is also a strange enchantment not far beyond here. But they are not insurmountable with a quiet pace. She has contacted you? Grim believed he had her fooled, but her skills are greater than we ever thought. But so is her hubris. That key she gave you can be used to reach Arjin as well as Grim. She will be in the western wing of the court. But to reach her, you'll need to bypass a strange trap. One that watches the way with eyes unblinking. There's a magic sentry that watches over the path to the court. A statue called the Watcher. If it catches you, it will sound an alarm. But you can blind it. Extinguish the torches in its chamber and its gaze will be lost. The torches lie in its gaze, so the only way to snuff them is with a bag of winds, which the guards carry. Use it before entering the chamber and you'll be fine. Though it is magical in nature, it still relies on sight. There is an item on a nearby guard that would be of use. A bag of wind. I've come to lend what aid to Grim's fight that I can. I feel a duty to see him safely to the end of this. There's a magic sentry that watches over the path to the court. A statue called the Watcher. If it catches you, it will sound an alarm. But you can— The torches lie in its— I am far from its woods, and I miss it. I hope they are well outside of my presence. Long it has been known that there were Arathi artifacts in Sun Camp, but I did not suspect a complex beneath the soil. No one did. You have lived enough of our ways to understand, perhaps. The Hierophant is the ruler of the travelers, as you know. Where is the freedom in acquiescing to another's will? We profit from the Hierophant's wisdom, but pay for it in service. It is a high cost. May the wind be at your back.
Enough of your farces, Grim. You claim you want to blackmail me, but that is not your true purpose here.
Why, your worshipfulness, you can't blame me for desiring to have you all to myself.
This has gone on long enough, little man. I grow tired of your stallings. They will cease immediately.
I couldn't agree more, my dear seer. Seems like it's time for things to wrap up.
They've got the missives! Get them!
Let's get the hell out of here!
Oh, we better run like hell if we're to get out of here. Argine's hold over the Travelers is broken. The Hierophant is gone. The Travelers will never be the same. You are like the Travelers of ages past. I name you one among their number. They'll sing songs of you forever as the Chariot. No jail will hold you. And since you've used the Shroud of Omission so well, I figured you could make some use of this.
Good evening.
Any sense in you, then someone else will have to. Damn fool.
What do you want? I'm beset by petitioners these days. Another advocate for this absurd plan to retake Melsenshire, I take it. Look to Rathia's sister across the strait. Her battered walls, her burned gardens, her back broken from a decade of war. We take in refugees. We send them food that we can spare. We try to ease her pain. But for 10 years I stood here and watched her die slowly. And now you, a stranger, think to convince me to commit the whole of this city to saving her because our army's greatest failure has recovered some old relic. Melsenshire stands as Rathia's eastern shield. Even now, nearly broken, she still stands. This city can do nothing for the fortress, but perhaps its people can. The wounded we have here wish to return to fight for the fortress one last time. I'll tell them to meet you at the docks, and take this as well from my own collection. May it be of use to you in the coming battle. They have delved earthward where we have lifted high. They think no one watches them because they are thus sheltered. The deeper they dig, the higher we will rise. I am the Elund, and I speak with the voice of the Orbakant. Within this city, my word is law. The city of walls is lost to us, and we can afford no more troops for them. Better to muster our forces to counterattack after its fall. Those who watch and govern Rathia, they sit in secret council. Even their names are unknown, and are thus above corruption and idolatry. Only I am known, the Elund, their voice. They rule Rathia, and they do so from behind a veil. I am their face and their voice. Rathia has taken in half of Melsenshire's population as refugees from the war. Orphans fill our poorhouses. They've never seen their parents' city and never will. I realize they long for their home, but they need to accept a painful fact. Rathia is their only home now. Melsenshire is no more. You carry with you Rathia's bravest sons and daughters. Realize that if you fail to liberate that withered wall, you will have doomed our city as well. Do not speak to me of the war. I am the voice of Rathia, not a general or a fate weaver, nor Lyria herself, who alone controls the outcome. Go to the eastern docks in the lower city and find Captain Dodwin. Go. Save our city across the sea.
Hey. The Fae in the House of Vengeance are, bar none, the fiercest, strongest, most downright unstoppable creatures in the land. Not that they have a lot to be vengeful about. After all, Godflow was the one who started the damned war. You know, before I met you, I swore to myself that my fighting days were behind me. After fighting nearly all my life, it was one of the hardest things I've had to do. But now you've taken me this far. If I don't take these next steps on my own, I don't think I ever will.
Archsage.
Students of magic, masters of spells.